The 2016 film Deadpool is not only one of the best superhero films ever made, but it also spawned one of the most brutal and gory video games of all time. That's right, this game allows you to take on the role of Deadpool and go absolutely ham on every single enemy that gets in your way. And it's all done in glorious ultra slow motion. But today we won't be talking about that. Instead, we'll be talking about something far more special. Something that will allow you to do basically the same thing, but with some incredibly stylish visuals. And if that wasn't enough, it's free to play. Yes, I am, of course, talking about Crime Empire, Born in Blood, an open-world action RPG set in the dystopian future of 2040. You are Wade Wilson, a.k.a. Deadpool, who has just returned to his hometown of New York City after spending years gallivanting around the world, kicking ass and taking names. Only now things have gotten even worse than they were when he left. Because thanks to a corporate conspiracy and some supervillain shenanigans, the city has become nothing more than an outdoor prison. So it's up to Wade to fix it, which of course involves killing everyone who dares get in his way. The game begins with a bang, literally, as Wade crashes back into town on a motorcycle, mowing down dozens of guards while doing so. And once you gain control over him, the first thing you'll notice is just how good he actually looks. The devs clearly spent a lot of time trying to nail that comic book look for him, complete with a 3D modeled mask that can accurately replicate all of his facial expressions. And unlike other games, they didn't cheap out and give us a faceless Deadpool that just stands around awkwardly while we play. No! This Deadpool talks, jokes, and quips almost nonstop while we play, which really helps sell the whole character. But before you can say chimichanga, you'll be thrown into a cuisine where the story beats you over the head with exposition. You see, back in 2028, a massive global pandemic wiped out 75% of the world's population. And among those who survived was Wade Wilson, who used his enhanced healing factor to help cure the disease. But sadly, that happiness would not last as supervillains would soon begin popping up left and right, causing total havoc across the globe. So Wade would spend the next 2 years traveling the world, taking out these villains and saving anyone he could along the way. However, when he returned home to New York City, he discovered that the city had become nothing more than an outdoor prison. See? While he was gone, the city had been taken over by none other than Black Tar. And to ensure total control over the populace, she declared martial law, thus trapping everyone inside. Luckily, though, Wade never backs down from a challenge, so he sets out to take her down and free the city. Once you regain control after that coup scene, you'll find yourself in the first level, which takes place at night in the sewers. It doesn't last very long, though, as you'll quickly make your way to the surface, and then to the hub world known as Downtown, which is basically just a large open area filled with lots of enemies and interactive objects. The main draw of this area isn't the combat, though, but rather what you can unlock by exploring it. For every new building you discover, you'll earn blueprints that can then be used to purchase new abilities for Wade. These abilities range from offensive options like the Juggernaut and to defensive options like Bulletproof and Hip. And the best part is there are no annoying energy or skill trees to worry about here. Every single ability is immediately available for use as soon as you purchase them, meaning you can mix and match any loadout you want. You can also add items to these which function as buffs that can grant you things like increased damage, more health, and extra armor. But these don't cost any energy or mana to use, but instead have cooldowns. Similar to Overwatch, there's also relics, which are basically just passive buffs that always stay active unless you unequip them. Some examples include the Wooden Nickel, which gives you extra money, and the Captain's Charm, which increases your melee damage. To purchase these abilities, items, and relics, you need, of course, money. And to get that, you'll need to take on mercenary missions from NPCs throughout the city. These missions are pretty straightforward, usually involving you going to a certain location and killing a certain person. But even though they may seem easy, there's still plenty of danger to be found. After all, downtown is crawling with enemies. These enemies are usually just your standard foot soldiers, but they come equipped with an array of weapons that can easily downweight if you are careful. Now, thankfully, the game does give you a few tools to make the fights easier, such as cover, which allows you to hide behind anything that isn't nailed down, and enemy indicators, which lets you know where every enemy is at all times. But the best tool the game gives you is its ultra slow motion mechanic, which is activated by default and makes every kill absolutely brutal. This mechanic basically allows you to temporarily slow down time so that you can land more hits on your enemies. But what's cool about it is that it's affected by the abilities you... For example, the Juggernaut ability causes bullets to literally explode on impact, while the Katana allows you to launch multiple projectiles with a single slap. There's also the Grenade, which can be thrown at pretty much anything to cause massive amounts of damage. Each kill that you make with these abilities also fills up your special meter, which can then be used to activate your superpower, which is basically just an amplified version of whatever ability you used to get there. But even though these abilities are pretty useful, the game doesn't just hand them out. To get them, you'll need to explore the different districts throughout the city, such as Little Italy and Chinatown. These districts are locked away behind gates, but you can open them up using the district keys hidden within each one. To find these keys, you will need to complete special contracts offered by special bosses, who are usually themed after famous Marvel villains. One example is Hobgoblin, who you fight in the Goblin Amusement Park located within the downtown district. As you can probably guess from his appearance, he is based off of the Marvel villain of the same name. And as you might expect, he's a pretty tough fight. But if you can take him down, you'll earn the key to the Little Italy district. And when you enter it, you'll see how unique each area can be. For example, Little Italy is basically just one big mafia war zone, whereas Chinatown is overrun by ninjas. Then there's Shibuya, which is based on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Hollywood, which is overrun by killer. Exploring these districts and defeating their bosses will earn you even more abilities to use in battle, such as the shock ram and the electric Uzi. Each district also has its own unique mercenary missions that you can complete to earn money and experience. And these missions become increasingly difficult the deeper you go. Eventually, you'll start getting attacked by assassins for no reason whatsoever. And if you can defeat them, you'll earn even more rewards. Now, the assassination attempts are basically just a teaser for the main storyline, which becomes available once you open up Chinatown. When you do, you'll meet a man named Yukio, who reveals that he is one of the higher-ranking members of the Hand Clan. He explains that Black Tar has forced him to work with her, and that he needs your help to stop her plans from coming to fruition. From there, the game will periodically throw you cutscenes that advance the plot until finally you are given the chance to face off against Black Tar herself. Now, even though this final battle is a lot of fun, I don't want to spoil it for you, so I'll just tell you that it takes place within her personal fortress known as Castle Tar. Overall, Crime Empire Born in Blood is a must-play for fans of Deadpool and beat-em-ups in general. Its ultra-slow-motion combat is unbelievably satisfying, and its colorful cast of characters is truly memorable. So if you haven't played it already, I highly recommend giving it a try.